Ben, Mike was saying yesterday that he thought the offensive line didn't control the line of scrimmage. It was a step back. But what did you see on film if you watched it?
That we won the game.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, that's all that really matters.
Is that going to happen with Ben? I mean, you're going to have some 2 steps forward and maybe 1 back from time to time with the young group.
Yeah, sometimes. I mean, that's the way it goes. You understand that those guys are pretty good too. They get paid money, defensive lines, and this is a good D line that we played last week. So they had their hands full, and it's not always going to be easy.
I'm sure during your career you've encountered games like this where you have maybe a winless team. What do you do? You talk about it. I mean, how do you fight human nature? What happens during the prep league?
Well, listen, we're not exactly the best team of football right now. We've got a winning record, but if you'll ask most of the guys, I would think in this building would tell you we got a long way to go. We can't worry. I know. Oh, good catch. I know, Coach will pull all his nameless great face, all these different things, but honestly, they're an NFL team that's going to come in here and want to beat us, and we want to beat them. So I don't look at the records or worry about who they are. They're trying to get a win, so are we.
Yeah, Mike didn't drop a nameless great faces yesterday.
Interesting.
There was no FCS teams, no Group of 5 teams in the NFL. I mean, do you think young guys need to hear that message from players, captains like you and Cam, as much as they do the coach?
Maybe. I mean, we'll do what we have to this week to get them ready to play.
You've been with Mike Tomlin for a long time. What is it about the way that he coaches that makes him such an effective leader for you guys?
I think everyone will probably have a different answer to that. I mean, I think, some guys may love his phrases, some guys may love the intensity, some guys may love the personal, how he's kind of personal with guys. So I think everyone's just different in how they like coach as a leader, I guess.
What is it for you? Is it the intensity, the phrases, the personal stuff?
I don't know what it is. I think it's just his consistency, maybe, with me and what I've seen over the years.
How are you physically? Your 3 different ailments you're listed under, what's the status?
Yeah, everything's a little sore. It's football. We're all banged up. Ask Boz, he's pretty sore. He's never sore.
Did the shoulder, did that happen during the Cleveland game? Was that something?
No, it happened like Oakland or Cincinnati or something. We just don't tell you all everything.
There was one play where it looked like did Dan, you got hit. They called for roughing, I think, but it looked like you got knocked down. Did Dan get you in the head with his?
Someone's leg did, yeah. I don't know who it was, but yeah, that was the part that hurt the most on the whole play.
I mean, it looks like you've been doing this a long time. Has there been any hit this season where you're sort of like, oh my God, I'm still.
Every one of the hits I get makes me feel that way on Monday when I wake up. But you know what? At the end of the day, you get up because you love the game, and you love your teammates, and you love the fans, and you just want to keep doing it.
You mentioned that you guys, we're not the best team in football right now, but during this year, you guys are winning close games. I mean, you're making the necessary plays when you have to make them. I mean, how important is that for the young guys who this is their first go around?
Yeah, I mean, I think this last game especially shows guys that you're never out of it, whether you're winning by a lot or losing by a lot. And so I heard one of the rookies talking about it with one of the veterans today. I heard a veteran say, we've been up this much and it was close. And so I think it's good to let guys know that anything can happen in this league. It's a little different. I think sometimes in college, if you're up by 21, it's hard to catch up a lot. And in this league, it's not always the case. So I think anytime you win a game, it's great. And if you can pull little lessons from it, that's even better.
Ben, I know you probably don't want to be in these situations, but you've had a lot of those fourth quarter comeback drives. When you get in that position, get a little more amped, a little more juice?
Yeah, just realize that you stunk the first 3 quarters. Yeah, I mean, you get, like I said, at the end of that game when they scored, it was like, okay, they scored quick, which was awesome. Looked up, 148. It made me think of, I always joke with Coach Tomlin because whenever we do our 2-minute drills in practice, he'll give me a time, yardage time and a timeout or maybe 2 if I'm lucky. And I always joke with him. I'm like, do I need a field goal or a touchdown? Because obviously field goal is a lot different. He's like, oh, you need a touchdown, 7. So only needing a field goal made it a little bit easier.
Is there an art to finishing games like that?
You know what? It's kind of one of those things where it's usually the tempo, if you can pick the pace up and call the plays, not huddle, things like that. The defense sometimes gets more basic. They kind of stick to something. and I just felt going to that last drive, they had had some success with their 22-man defense, so I assumed that that's what we'd be seeing. So I kind of called a couple plays where we would be some 22-man beaters, and it worked, and we got down the field, and we were able to get ourselves in position.
And to the point of that game-winning drive, significance to take that group together for the first time and go do that and have that experience.
Yeah, I thought it was great because that group has struggled in practice doing the 2-minute drill recently. The defense has kind of had our number the last couple of times we've done it, and so to do it in a game when it really matters is special. And I think guys feel that would have been nice to get the first down and kind of milk the clock and kick the field goal to win it, but we'll take it any way we can get it.
That throw to Washington, was that intentional? Sort of come back to it? Did he adjust to it? Did something?
The deep one?
Yeah.
Yeah, the guy hit my hand, and so the ball kind of fluttered, and I was like, just please get there, James, and he did. So that was good adjustment by him.
Can that be something that maybe sparks him going forward here?
I hope so. I mean, he's a guy that puts the hard work in. We ask him to play a lot of positions, doesn't ask questions, just plays hard, and that's what you love about a guy like that.
Been 2 games in a row. You have another run planned this week?
No, I told you I'm not the R in the run on the RPO.
Anyone else?
We talked to you a little bit after the game about Mike Tomlin hitting 150 wins. In your eyes, I mean, obviously he has a long way still to go in his coaching career, but is he a Hall of Fame coach?
I don't know what qualifies for coaches. I'm not sure if there's like a criteria. I mean, I know he's got a Super Bowl. He's got a lot of wins. So I mean, if you ask me, I would say yes. I just don't know what the criteria is.
Speaking of coaches, Lions sideline has Deuce Staley and Antoine Randall over there. When you played with them, were you surprised that those guys had done that, or were they always kind of like that even when you were teammates with them?
Well, I mean, obviously we saw him in the preseason, and Deuce has been obviously with the Eagles for a while. Antoine, I was pretty sure was in Tampa last year. So, Deuce has been doing it for a while, but seeing Antoine out there is awesome. I mean, he's a guy that just had a passion for the game. He's a leader of men, so it doesn't surprise me that he was either going to be a pastor or this.
So when you're facing a team that's struggling, do you kind of prepare for the unexpected, where they might take chances, do things?
I think that's what coaches need to prepare for. We need to go out and just execute what the coaches prepare for us. I would assume that coaches would say yes, be prepared for all the craziness, but like I said, we need to go out and play our game because we're not very good right now.
You threw that one, the touchdown to Freiermuth. Is that something you have to build a trust with him that he's going to win that one-on-one where you might?
The second one?
Yeah.
It was kind of those ones where they had a DB on him, and so you knew you had the matchup, the size-wise, and then the second thing was the defender had his back to me, and so we always see in the NFL the defender's back's to the quarterback that should be a win. I didn't like where I threw the ball. I mean, it was okay. It wasn't the best spot, but Pat was able to kind of muscle it and get over top, and he just keeps proving that he can be trusted with pretty much anything.
What was your reaction when they drafted that?
I didn't know. No, I was on a date with my wife, and the ESPN alert came through and said we drafted Pat Freiermuth, and I was like, I don't know who this is. I had no idea who Pat was, and probably 15, 20, 30 seconds later, I got a text from BA. It said, he's the closest thing to Heath Miller I've ever seen. You'll love this kid. That was enough for me.
How was that played out over the last?
You've seen it. Yeah. Well, he got to meet Heath before the game, having Heath there, and then Pat came up to me, I think, in the fourth quarter and asked if I could ask Heath to come to every game. So maybe he's trying to impress Heath. We'll take it.
Did you see Heath?
I did. I got to see Heath before the game, yeah.
All right.
That's it. Thanks, guys.